Hello again and welcome back. Class 271. I'm going to continue where I left off yesterday. I'm going to continue, pronunciación, continue, I'm going to continue where I left off, con doble F, donde lo dejé ayer. Se dice así, I left off. But Richard, yes, where did you leave off yesterday? Where did I leave off yesterday? I left off on page, it's interesting, this is interesting. We are still on page 269.22. However, I'm using page 169, exactly 100 pages before. The third column of regular verbs. Yes. Avoid, evitar, to avoid. Yes. So far. ¿Cómo? So far. ¿Qué es so far? ¿No te acuerdas? Hasta ahora. Anda, sí, up to now. So far, I have avoided the coronavirus. Yes. Toca madera. Knock on wood. Esto es formica. Marto, ¿dónde hay madera? All right. This is formica. No, it's not. This is a conglomerate of wood. Knock on wood. That's the American expression para tocar madera. The British is touch. The same as in Spanish. Touch wood. Touch wood. So far, I have avoided. Evitado. I've avoided. Avoided. Every day I avoid. Yesterday I avoided. And so far, I have avoided the COVID-19. Knock on wood. I hope to continue avoiding it, but nunca se sabe. ¿Cómo se dice nunca se sabe? But you never know. Es el you impersonal, no tú en particular. You never know, nunca sabes, you never know. Contact. I contacted Marta last night at 11 o'clock. Last night at 11 o'clock, I contacted her. Really? How did you contact her? I contacted her by message, telephone message, messaging. And why did you contact her? I contacted her, la contacté, así lo decimos. También se puede decir, I got in contact with her, or I got in touch with her, or I wrote her a message. I contacted her to tell her that I was going to be a little late today for the recording. So I contacted her to tell her que iba a llegar un poco tarde. En inglés se dice iba a estar un poco tarde. Se dice to be. I contacted her to tell her, o sea, in order to tell her, I contacted her to tell her that I was going to be a little late today. However, I wasn't late. I got here on time. I didn't expect to get here on time, but I got here on time, and Marta wasn't here. So I contacted her and said, I'm here. And she wrote me a message. Corazón de león. No, de corazón. She's de melón, claro, no de león. Corazón de melón. She said, estoy en camino. I'm on the way. You told me you were going to be late. You told me, me dijiste que ibas a llegar tarde. You told me you were going to be late. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Estoy en camino. O sea, estoy en mi camino, se dice en inglés mucho. I'm on the way. Impersonal o personal. I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Pero en este caso concreto es más corriente, I'm on my way. Cuando te están esperando, dice I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my. Practica eso un poco. Estoy en camino. I'm on my way. I'm on my. Cerrando la boca en esos dos casos. Mon my. Literalmente. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And so I contacted her twice. I contacted her last night, and I contacted her this morning. All right. Contacted, counted. You know, I think there are 20 pencils. I always talk about 20 pencils, but I have never counted them, really. Shall we count them? Shall we count them? What do you think? Shall we? ¿Los contamos? ¿Qué opinas? What do you think? What do you think? What's your opinion? You say, Richard, please no, don't count them. I'm going to count them. I'm going to make sure. I always say there are 20 pencils, but I've never really counted them. Escuche lo que voy a decir ahora. I have always thought there were 20 pencils, but I've never sat down to count them. Es una forma muy corriente en inglés. Nunca me he sentado para ponerme a contarlos. Nunca me he puesto a contarlos. Esta expresión en español. Siempre digo que hay 20. Bueno, en inglés se diría siempre he dicho que hay 20. I've always said, or I always say, siempre digo, there are 20. Pero nunca me he puesto a contarlos. In English, I've never sat down to count them. So, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So, I have counted all the pencils. I counted each one. But usually I counted them in groups of 2. I counted the pencils in groups of 2. On 2 or 3 occasions, I counted only 1 pencil. But usually I counted 2 by 2, not 1 by 1. So yes, there are 20 pencils. Now you and I know perfectly how many pencils there are. We know how many pencils there are. All right, created. Who created the earth? Well, according to the Judeo-Christian tradition, God, Yahweh, God created the earth. Did he create the earth in 6 days or in 7 days? He created the earth in 6 days. Who did he create first, Adam or Eve? He created Adam first. And how did he create Adam? He created Adam from the dust. And did he create Eve from the dust too? No, he didn't. How did he create Eve? He created Eve from Adam's rib. Created. Richard, yeah. When did you create Akimorita? I created Akimorita, I think, in 1994 or 1995. Who did you create first, Richard? Akimorita or Inés Garcia? I know perfectly. I created Akimorita before Inés Garcia. How do you know? Okay, there are 12 characters. Okay, 12. All right. Anna Barghini is not a main character. She's a secondary role. Nancy Johnson and Philip Johnson and Denise Johnson and Michael Johnson are main characters. I created the Johnson family first when I created this method. First, I created the Johnson family. Philip, Nancy, Michael, and Denise. Then, I created the Nigel Perkins, the Englishman. You remember? I created Nigel Perkins, and I can't find Nigel Perkins. He's hiding. Where's Nigel? Oh, here he is. I created Nigel after creating the Johnson family. After Nigel Perkins, I created Pierre Monet. And I can't find Pierre Monet. I can't find him. I created Pierre Monet after Nigel Perkins. And after Pierre Monet, I created Luigi Barghini. And then I created Akimorita. Okay. I created 12 characters initially. And later in the story, later in the method, I created secondary characters. Okay. So I created the family of four, the Johnson family. Then I created Nigel Perkins. And then I created the Frenchman, Pierre Monet. And then I created Luigi Barghini. And then I created Akimorita, the Japanese engineer. And then I created Paula Eisenbach, the German university student. And then I created Li Tong, the Chinese factory worker. And then I created Natasha Zerakovich, the Russian chemist. And then finally I created Inés Garcia, the Spanish lawyer who lives in Seville, Andaluza. Those were the 12. I created those in that order. I remember, I'm pretty sure, estoy bastante seguro que fue en ese orden. I'm pretty sure that I created the 12 characters in that order. Then, later, I created Francois Monet, who will marry Inés Garcia. Then I created Anna Barghini, Luigi's daughter. Then I created Karl Polster, the German purchasing manager who will later marry Anna Barghini. And finally, I created Ronnie Perkins, Nigel's wayward son. Yes, wayward means descarriado un poco. Ronnie. So I created these characters between 1994 and 1996. Really, I think I created them in 1995, all of them. I created them. And now they have a life of their own. That's interesting. They have continued their lives. Decided. Oh, Richard, yeah. When did you decide to create this method? I decided to formalize the method in 1994, to formalize. Before that, it was in my head. But I decided to take it out of my head and to materialize it, materializarlo, okay, to formalizarlo, to materialize it in books in 1994. And I completed the task, la tarea. I completed, tercera columna, pero no viene, I think. No, I completed the task. I finished the task in 1995. All right. So, yes, I decided. And why did you decide to do this English course? I mean, Richard, you have 400 teachers. You have many teachers who can teach this class. I decided to do this class for two reasons. Me, personally. Number one, I have more free time than the teachers. The 400 teachers are teaching. Sometimes they have free time in the middle of the morning, but they have less flexibility than me. I have more flexibility than they have. So, that's reason number one. Reason number two, I don't need to prepare these classes. My teachers perhaps need to prepare. And preparation time is very expensive. Pre-production is expensive. Time is expensive sometimes. I don't need to prepare. I have taught 50,000 hours. I've taught, enseñado. I've taught 50,000 hours. For me to teach English is like walking to the pharmacy to buy aspirin. So I don't need to prepare the journey, the trip to the pharmacy. All right, and I don't need to prepare classes. So that saves a lot of time. A third reason is that I'm used to teaching on television. I'm not afraid of the camera. The camera is a friend of mine. So for me, it's easy to teach in front of a camera with lights, with time and expectations, with makeup. And many of my teachers are better than me teaching in the classroom. But on television, not necessarily, because they don't have experience. They don't have enough experience teaching on television. And they need to follow the script more closely, and they are less spontaneous. So those are the three reasons that I made the decision. To make the decision. Los británicos dicen muchas veces take decisions. That's why I took the decision. That's why I made. That's why. Es por eso por lo que tomé la decisión. That's why I made the decision. That's why I decided to do this class myself. Because I have more free time. I delegate to other people the management. So I have more free time. Well, I have nothing to do. I'm bored. So I'll do this class. This depended. It depends on how fast you want to learn English quickly. Well, it doesn't depend on me. It depends on you. Your progress with English depends on you. It doesn't depend on me. You're the magician. El mago lo eres tú. El mago eres tú. You're the magician. I'm not a magician. I'm a catalyst. Catalizador. I can motivate you to become a magician. The magic is in you. You possess magic. Everybody, even Marta, possesses magic. You possess magic inside. It's a question to bring it out, to manifest the magic in you. My job is to try, abracadabra, is to try to bring out the magic in you. I don't have magic. I'm a magic catalyst, but I'm not a magic maker. You're the magic maker. You make the magic. Hacer magia is el verbo to make. Como producimos magia, se produce. So you make magic. And so your progress or your success with English depends on you. And yesterday, it didn't depend on me. It depended on you. Last month, it depended on you. Last year, it depended on you. So, depended. Divided. Yes. I have all 20 pencils on the table. I have all 20 pencils on the table. Okay. I'm going to divide them. I'm going to divide the pencils into 4 groups, okay? I'm going to divide the pencils into 4 groups, all right? There's one group, a second group next to the microphone, next to the books, another group next to the cup, another group partially under the book, and a final group pointing at me. These pencils are pointing at me. So excuse me, Richard. Yeah. You said you were going to divide the pencils into 4 groups. Yeah. You divided them into 5. No. Yes, you did. You divided the pencils into 5 groups. You divided them into 5 groups. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Count them. Well, one group is next to the microphone. Another is next to the book. Another group is next to the cup. Another group is partially under the book. And another group of pencils is in the middle of the table pointing at me. But Richard, there are 5 groups. You told me you were going to divide them into 4 groups, but you divided them into 5. Did I? Yes, you did. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's true. I divided them into 5 groups. I don't know why. I told you I was going to divide them into 4 groups, but I divided them into 5. I was planning to divide them into 4 groups only. Why I divided them into 5, I don't know. Well, I decided to have one group of pencils pointing at me, but I had already divided them into 4. Okay, fine. Okay. Even though I told you, even though, aunque te haya dicho, te dijera, even though I told you I was going to divide them into 4 groups, finally, I divided them into 5. Does it really matter? Does it matter to you? It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's not important, really. Does it matter how many groups of pencils I create? I made a decision and I changed by accident, really. My idea was to divide them into 4 groups, but in the end, no at the end, in the end, al final, at the end, I divided them into 5 groups. So I divided. Yes, to divide. And now, again, ¿cuántas veces hago esto? I'm putting them back, but at least I'm not counting them. I'm putting them back quickly. I'm not putting them back slowly. There. Now they're together. They are not divided. They are not divided into 4 groups, nor are they divided into 5 groups. They're back in the cup. Divided, eliminated. Yes. January of last year, at the beginning of this course, we had Marta, I had a globe, un globo terráqueo right here. You saw it about 1 month ago in the class. Yeah. And I had a statuette of a beautiful woman here. And I had here a pot plant. A what? A pot plant. Pot plant. Pot, P-O-T, pot, tiene varios significados, pero más o menos como cacharro de cocina, con hondo. It's a pot. Yes, pot. But a pot plant is una maceta dentro de una protección de barro. It's a pot plant, una maceta that you have in the balconies in Spanish homes. It's a pot plant. So I had a globe here. I had a statuette here, estatuilla, and I had a pot plant here. And Marta said, "Ay, demasiada cosa." And she eliminated 3 things. She decided to keep this. She decided to keep the microphone, to keep the guitar, and of course the books. But she eliminated the globe, she eliminated the statuette, and she eliminated the pot plant. Yes. Now, she eliminated the pot. I agreed with her. When she eliminated the pot plant, I agreed with her. When she eliminated the globe, I agreed with her. But when she eliminated the statuette, I didn't. I wanted to keep the statuette. It's very attractive. But Marta's the boss. She calls the shots. She's in charge. And so she eliminated those 3 objects. And she eliminated them, los eliminó. She eliminated them, son muchas sílabas, eliminated, 5 sílabas, y con it 6. She eliminated them before the beginning of the first class. And so what you see now wasn't what was originally here. Originally, al principio, originalmente, originally there were more objects, but she eliminated 3 of them. And she eliminated them the day before we started on class number 1. All right. Eliminated. Existed. Existed. Yes. Do giraffes still exist? Yes, they do. Do mammoths still exist? No, they don't. Los mamuts. Mammoths. No, mammoths don't exist anymore. Did they exist before? Oh, yeah. Mammoths existed. Really? Did mammoths really exist, or are they mythical or mythological characters? No, mammoths existed. Mammoths existed. Yeah, and mastodons too, los mastodontes. They existed. When did they exist? Oh, they existed a long time ago. They existed before the Ice Age. Okay. Do you exist, Richard? I think so. See you tomorrow.